de trois. Let's do this. All right, so what is this? What's the first step? First step.
Multiply 2.
Given.
Oh my god.
Trick, yeah. All right, then we're gonna,
Multiply by 2.
yeah, why?
Oh my god.
Because every time you see this, right? Every time you see this bar, you should think parentheses, right? Now, parentheses, oh, I can't add 7 plus n. I can't do that, right? So, what am I gonna do? I gotta do exponents, there are none. Multiplication, division from left to right. Oh, hello, division from left to right, so right here. So we're gonna divide this, right? So, we gotta do the opposite of divide. Oh, we're coming down to SADMEP, right? So we want to be able to get rid of this too, all right? How do I get rid of this division? By multiplying. What I do to one side, I do it to the other. Okay, so if I do that to two sides, what's that called?
SA.
SA.
Just, you know, at the end.
Yep, two sides, SA. Okay, but is it SA? That's subtraction addition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Darn it!
Wow.
Carlo was right. It's DM.
That was Paul. Good job, Paul.
Paul got it. Good job, Paul.
Good job.
DM. Yeah. So these twos cancel. Clink. Right? And I'm left with 7 plus n is less than what? With negative 2 times 2.
1400.
Close. Negative 4. Okay, what they say about you, Robert? You are a very intelligent man. Just remember that. Alright, cool. Next!
Say about us.
I don't know, man. You don't really want to hear.
Yes, I do.
Only good things. Only good things.
What do they say about us?
That you're good people.
No, like really, what do they say about us?
What's next?
Get the n by itself.
Get in by itself.
Yes.
How?
Minus SA.
Yes, yeah.
Sad.
So, it's one of the few times, right, the DM comes before SA. Does that make sense? It's kind of weird, but it's just one of the few times. There's exceptions to every rule, right? Rules are meant to be broken. Dan Williams said that, right? So, but every rule out there has an exception, okay? This is one of the exceptions to SADMEP. So whenever you see a big parentheses, right, or a bar, division bar, we got to get rid of that division bar first, and then we can do SADMEP. Does that make sense? All right. So now we can do SADMEP, which is, we're going to add the opposite, right, SA. We're going to add the opposite, SA. And when we do that, we got n is less than what? Negative 11. Good. And that is, again, SA, right? Okay. We're talking downstairs today in the meeting, making sure that you really understand why you're doing what you're doing, okay? We're trying to, as a team, really push, not just how to do it, but why you're doing it. Does that make sense? Now, some of us will push why first and then what. I like to push how and then why, right? But kind of together, right? A little bit. So, you know, everybody has their own tactics, and that's okay. As long as as a team, right? You have a team of leaders here as teachers, as math teachers at MTS. We want to make sure that you understand what you are doing. Does that make sense? Not just doing it. Okay? All right, so, yay, we got the answer. Graph it. All right? I like to graph it by putting a 0 and then putting the other mark. Where would it be? Right or left of the 0?
Left.
Left. Because it's negative, right? I don't care where. I just want you to know where it's at on the number line. Does that make sense? Now, is it an open circle or closed? Open. Okay? And then what direction is it going?
To the left.
To the left. To the left. To the, okay. What's that? You feel me? Alright, there we go. And it's that easy. As long as I know what's up here, right? What is it? That's it. Okay? You gotta label your axis. Okay? Easy peasy, Japanesey, lemon squeezy, right? Yeah, probably that's probably a little racist. I shouldn't say that, huh? It's kind of bad. Alright. Lemon squeezy. How
It's
about
on the
that?
camera too.
Ah! It's on the camera! Oh no! Ah.
Just taking it shows to the
Right? It's like, ah! He said lemon easy. Alright. What's next?
17.
Yes. What do I do? Yeah, straightforward, right?
28.
We're gonna, no, not add 28. Subtract 4. Now, why would we subtract 4 instead of add 28? Because a lot of kids want to add the 28, right? Uh-oh, here we go. First shot. Watch out. Oh! Beautiful. It didn't hit her, and I almost made it.
Well, you did make it, and you almost hit it.
I did make it?
You did it, no.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think there. Alright. But people constantly want to move to 28.
Yeah.
Right? We got to make sure, what are we doing? What's the whole purpose? Getting the variable alone, right? Right? So if I move the 28 over here, that doesn't get the variable more alone. It puts more on top of it. Does that make sense? So what your whole goal is, let's see, your whole goal is to get rid of that. So that M, not X, M is more alone. M for more. Ah! Oh, I'm here all week, don't worry.
Given.
Alright, given. SA. Opposite, right? And then, so we got, okay, what's negative 28 and negative 4? Negative 32. I like it like that. Alright, then what? Divide. Okay? Divide by
2.
both sides, right?
Yes.
If I'm doing both sides, is it DM or is it MD? DM, good. Alright? And then, what's 32 divided in half?
Negative 16.
There you go. Okay, how do I graph that? Remember, boom, 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 put the 0. What side is it on?
The left. Oh no, the right. Left.
It's on the left, because it's what? Negative 16. Open or closed?
Open.
Now here's the thing. How do I know which direction? Don't I want the M on the left side?
Yeah.
So how would I rewrite this?
Flip it.
Oh, we flip it. So I'm going to go like this, right? M and negative 16. Which way does this point then?
Right.
Yeah, at the 16, right? It's going to always be pointing at that 16. Now, what is that called? Symmetric. Oh my God, I could love you, man, give you a hug, big kiss. But I won't, because that'd be weird. So, but that is wonderful. You said symmetric. We just learned that yesterday. And we actually reserved that word for geometry. But we're learning it now. That's awesome. So next year will be that much easier. Does that make sense? Okay? So, open circle, what direction?
Right.
Yeah. You see how people get confused if the M is on the wrong side? But it's okay for the M to be on the wrong side, because if you kept it on this side, right, it would have been negative. And then you would have divided by negative, and you would have had to remember to do what? Flip the sign, right? And that's the biggest thing I noticed that students forget to do, is flip the sign. Like, why do I need to do that? Well, this is why. Because in essence, it's you're flipping the sign by doing the symmetric property, right? But if we learn to do that way, right, then we won't have to. Now, is it always you never have to have a negative number times a variable? Well, that's not true, right? Sometimes it's just set up that way, like negative 2m, right? Okay, now I got to divide by negative. So you have to remember to flip the sign when you divide or multiply by a negative number, okay? But we move the lowest x so that we have to do that as little as possible. Does that make sense? So if I do forget, I only forget on 1 or 2 problems, not on the whole test. Does that make sense? All right, you feel me? You got it, you're good. Are we going on? Okay, let's do it.